Hey there, explorers. Welcome back to the Spend channel, where single parents, empty nesters, and aspiring digital nomads over 40 come to get inspired, informed, and equipped to start a brand new life abroad. Today, we're diving into one of the most important topics for anyone thinking about moving overseas: the cost of living abroad, and more importantly, how to budget for your new life without blowing through your savings or stressing yourself out. Because whether you're dreaming of beach life in Thailand or a colonial town in Mexico or the mountains of Portugal, understanding your finances is key to making it all work. Let's start with this. Moving abroad doesn't magically solve money problems. In fact, if you don't have a plan, it can create new ones. This is why budgeting matters. Your income might change, especially if you're freelancing or teaching English. Costs can vary widely from one country to the next. Unexpected expenses can come up. Visas, medical care, border runs can throw off your plans. I want you to thrive abroad, not just survive. So let's break this down. First step is to know your numbers. Start with two numbers. The first is your current monthly income, and then the other one is your savings cushion. How many months can you survive if you didn't earn a dime? Then you need to research the cost of living in your target country. For me, that's Mexico. This is a basic monthly budget template that I use when I'm evaluating a location. You need to consider rent and utilities, cost of groceries or eating out at restaurants or taco stands, transportation, whether that's a bus, a light rail, or an Uber. Bicycle rental as well is an option here. Health insurance and medication, cost of telephone calls and internet service, entertainment and travel, miscellaneous expenses, and things such as visas or border run fees. Let's take a look at an example from my new hometown of Guadalajara, Mexico. Right now I pay about $270, $275 a month for rent in a simple one-bedroom place in a hostel, which is where I'm staying right now. The cost in US dollars depends on the exchange rate. 5,200 pesos per month is right about $270, $275 US. The cost of food, budget $250, $300 a month for a single person. That should be about right. That's assuming you eat most of your meals at home, with the occasional restaurant outing. Transportation, I'd rather do this on a daily basis. I would say about $5 per day, 30 days per month. That's $150 per month. And that's if you're Ubering around quite a bit. For me, it's a little bit lower since I'm not taking Uber every day of the week. Usually I'm Ubering for grocery runs or going to an event. It's always a good idea to overestimate your costs rather than underestimate. Because, let's face it, life happens regardless of what country you live in. One of the hidden gifts of moving abroad is lifestyle design. You get to ask yourself, what do I really need? Do you really need a car? Probably not. Not here in Guadalajara. Can you eat more local food and less imported food? That's definitely an option. So this is your chance to rethink your spending habits and make things simpler. Right now I have only three bills. Rent, I pay in cash. I pay Jetpack for an eSIM, usually a 10 gigabyte eSIM for 30 days. That's about $22, $23. And I also buy a voice pack from Jetpack. That's $10 for 30 minutes of calling time per month. So 270 plus another 30, that's about $300 between my regular bills. Everything else is paid in cash: food, transportation, medical, and so on and so forth. But now there are hidden costs that most people forget. For example, people forget to include things like visa renewals or legal residency applications, flights back home for emergencies, unexpected medical procedures. I'm going to be undergoing an ultrasound pretty soon, so I need to budget some cash for that. Don't forget the high exchange rate fees and or ATM fees. Every time you withdraw cash, you have to pay a certain amount to the bank, and then there's the cost of the exchange rate as well. If you buy goods online and have them shipped here, you have to pay import taxes and duties. Seasonal utilities, like for example, if you're living in a tropical location like Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan, Cancun, you're going to be using a lot of air conditioning. If you're not fluent in the local language, I definitely recommend taking language classes. That, of course, costs money. And then you have international health insurance costs or out-of-pocket dental costs. I had a dental cleaning. That was 1,200 pesos, about $65, give or take. So budgeting isn't just about rent and food. You got to think about long-term consequences and staying flexible. Wanted to do a quick video here of my current monthly budget. On the left side of the screen, I have my bills in the United States. It includes things like life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment insurance that would cover me in case of a death through an accident. Pretty affordable. I also have a 5x5 storage shack in Tucson, Arizona, where I'm from, through Extra Space Storage. Consumer Cellular, that's to keep my US-based phone number. Legal Shield is legal protection plan. Traveling Mailbox is my virtual mailbox. Every day I get snail mail, they'll scan it and send me an email notification asking me what I want to do with the mail. And subscriptions, I've got 5 subscriptions going on so far for things like Spotify, Apple, Evernote, vidIQ, and Canva. That's about $77 a month. Right now I owe federal and state income taxes, although that's on hold for the time being until I establish myself out here and start earning a regular income. Then I'll make tax payments. This all comes out to $207 a month, not including taxes. So I've got my USA bills down pretty low compared to what it used to be when I lived there. And now on the right side of the screen, I've got my bills in Mexico, which all I have right now is rent. 5,200 pesos per month. That works out to about $270 to $280 per month, depending on current exchange rates. Cellular data is through Jetpack eSIM. I buy a 10 gigabyte eSIM data plan per month. That's about $23 including taxes. I have also through Jetpack 30 minutes of voice call time per month. Works out to about $10 a month. So my regular recurring bills are about $300 a month, not including the occasional medical appointment. Recently I had an appointment with a gastroenterologist at a private hospital, and that was almost $100 US. Dental, I had a dental cleaning for 1,200 pesos, which was about $65, give or take. Uber, I'm spending $3 or $4 or $5 a day. I don't Uber every day, but it's usually for grocery trips or going to an event. Groceries, I'm still figuring that out, but I'm guesstimating between $200 and $300 a month on groceries, maybe less. Restaurants, I try to limit that to less than 400 pesos per day. I can get it down to 200 or 300 pesos per day, which 300 pesos a day, it's $15, $16 a day. I can get it down even lower if I wanted. Transportation, that would include things like bus fare and the light rail, which I haven't used lately. And the nice thing about this hostel is I don't have to pay electricity, gas, or water. So my recurring bills are $303 a month, give or take a few, plus the cost of medical, dental, Uber, groceries, restaurants, and so on and so forth. So living in Mexico, it's a lot less expensive than the United States. And so that's how I'm doing my budgeting right now. In about another month, when I have more data, I'm going to download my bank statements. I use Charles Schwab checking account for my Mexico travel purposes, and I have a credit union to pay my US-based bills. It's a good idea once a month to download your transactions in CSV format and import that into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So that way you could sort, you could filter, and easily do math to figure out what your monthly burn rate is and what your greatest expenses are. So I hope this video was helpful. I use a combination of tools to keep my budget in check. Here are my go-to options: Numbeo.com, Numbeo.com, and Expadistan for crowdsourced cost of living data, Trail Wallet, YNAB, or good old-fashioned Google Sheets, or Excel if you have it. XE.com is a great currency conversion app, or you could just go on Google to do your currency conversions there. If you're self-employed or freelancing, tools like Toggle or Wave are good for tracking your income. Based upon my personal experience, this is a few budgeting rules that I live by. First is start with a 3-month emergency fund, minimum. You don't want to move abroad completely flat broke. That's just not going to work out. Live off 70 to 80% of your income and save or invest the rest. Avoid long leases at first. You want to rent week by week or month by month. Airbnb is great for that. And there are also hostels. You can go to hostelworld.com. That's how I got started. And then through a special arrangement, I was able to get this room at a discounted rate. Build multiple streams of income. Online tutoring, affiliate income, remote work, it all can add up. Get local advice. Talk to people in your local community, talk to expats, and get some advice from them on where the best deals are. So if you're dreaming of a life abroad, remember this: budgeting is not a buzzkill. It's a passport to freedom. When you know your numbers, you can buy peace of mind. If you know where every dollar is going, you can track it more easily. and make adjustments when you need to. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Spend channel, where I help empty nest single parents like you build a new life abroad. And don't forget to download your free budgeting worksheet and my guides to getting your first passport and choosing your destination. Links are in the description below. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.